So the reason you're watching this video is because you want to double your appointments. I'm here to show you that I can do that, and I'm not going to prove it. No, I am. I'm kidding. But I really hope you do believe me a little bit more in like future videos that, I'm not lying about this. You can see all the appointments here, all this stuff over a few month period of like what allowed me to do this, right? And the first thing I'll say is that this equation right here is the basis of every appointment that has ever been booked and every appointment that will forever be booked within the future. So I'm going to be referring to this the whole video, but the size of the problem plus the upfront value provided equals the interest that the person has in your service, which is equal to the likelihood of them actually going ahead and booking an appointment with you, right? And using that equation right there is everything you will ever need to maximize each component of your outreach process so that you can book appointment after appointment after appointment and start to get or even double the effectiveness of the process that you have right now. So let me explain. Right, the first phase right here is going to be the size of the problem we are solving. Right, it is the most important factor in the equation. Because if there is no problem, nothing else actually matters. Right, upfront value without a sizable problem doesn't have any value. Right, somebody could teach me how to be the best ballerina in the world because I don't like tap dancing. I really wouldn't care all that much. Right, so the problem that they have and the size of it is the biggest factor to creating a favorable likelihood they're actually going to go ahead and work with us. Right, if we're dealing with inbound leads, the problem might not just be marketing. We need to train ourselves to see past smoke screens that people often have. So let me pull up my paint and show you a little bit about what I mean in regards to smoke screen objections. So a lot of the time, we're going to say that this is our prospect right here. We got our guy, and most people, because they get pitched on social media all day, they have a guard up, right? They got this royal big shield. And a lot of times they throw up smoke screen objections. Right in front of it, in front of this big shield, we've got this big cloud of dust. And what a lot of marketers do, and honestly, frankly, me until I learned this, is you try and poke little spears into this screen, thinking that we're going to contact the shield or even the prospect, but ultimately we are talking to nothing repeatedly, right? That is the process by which most people follow. So what I want to show you is how to actually jab around the smoke screen and get to the prospect's pain, because a lot of the time they'll throw out smoke screen objections. Oh, Facebook ads don't work. Oh, I've tried this. Oh, I've tried that. And it's just not true, right? It's not true at all. Or they'll tell you that their problem isn't editing, right? Or they'll tell you that their problem isn't strategy, when in reality, they might know it is. So the first thing we need to identify is the size of the problem, and I'm going to show you how to maximize that in just a second here. But the second phase is going to be the upfront value that we're able to provide to them. So in direct correlation to the size of the problem, we need to put upfront value that gives the person a perceived value or a perceived likelihood that we can help alleviate that pain, right? So even if somebody has a huge problem, they got this huge hole in their armor right here, if they don't believe that we're good enough to do it, then it won't matter. Right, so if we have an Instagram profile where we got no posts up, or a private account with no profile picture, the perceived likelihood that we can actually help them is close to nothing. Right, there's no reason why they should believe that we can actually go and help them. So the second part is going to be all about the upfront value that we can provide them. Right, and the way we set apart from everybody else, their DMs, by finding the real problem. Right, if we got all of our marketing friends here, and we are all holding our spears and we are pointing at this person and we're only hitting into the smoke screen, we will automatically have a 10x effectiveness if down here in the green we've got our spear and we're poking the real problem, right? That will give us our 10x effectiveness because they're going to, oh, this person understands, oh, this person gets exactly what's going on, right? That's the emotion that we want to provoke out of these people, and that is done through understanding the real problem. And understanding the real problem first is going to be delving into by indirect solutions, right? So there's ways and times where a prospect will look at your profile and indirectly complete this equation, right? So size of problem plus upfront value divided equal interest in service, which equals the likelihood of the appointment. So sometimes indirectly this is solved, right? Let's say, for example, we have got a little bit of, it's too far out. Let's say we got a little bit of content on our page. Say we've been posting it for a while, got our profile picture, we got our name, got our little numbers here, then we got our grid, right? And let's say on our grid, we've got our value bombs right here. So it's gonna be equated by money sign, money sign, money sign. And then we got this triple money sign. Boom, it's a crazy post, extremely valuable for somebody. And let's say when they get onto our profile right here, this guy decides to watch this video. And through that, he already wants to book an appointment with us because we've indirectly provided a perceived likelihood that we can go ahead and book an appointment. And that's the reason why, somebody, let's say they have 10K followers, or let's say Grant Cardone, right? Let's say if Grant Cardone went and messaged a realtor, right, he'd have a really good chance of booking an appointment with that realtor regardless of the outreach script that he used, because he is now indirectly given the prospect a reason to believe that he can solve and has a perceived likelihood of alleviating their real problem, even though he didn't say rat, I'm not going to swear, but he didn't say rat S word about that at all. I'm kidding, rat shit, right? At all, right? And that's just because he has the authority built up, right? He's Grant Cardone, right? So a lot of people, these guys know their problems deep down, right? It comes to the surface, right? They might know the real problem is that they're not going to make payroll if they don't get more leads, right? For example, or they're not going to get any GCI. They're going to be at the bottom of their firm's leaderboard in the realtor example if they don't start getting more leads, right? They might know that problem, but they won't tell any of these people it because they don't believe that they can actually solve it. Whereas this Grant Cardone guy, without even mentioning it, he speaks to that problem because he has so much value as seen on this post that he can actually go ahead and solve it. So that's one note that you can actually build on, you can actually work up to, but that's just by providing value in ways and putting it on your profile, right? So if you found a cool tip and trick, right? Something like this video could be me indirectly trying to make you pay me, which I am, by the way. But anyways, application, right? So knowing all this, the appointment setting process becomes the basis of being able to identify largest pain point, providing the most value, and doing it externally gives you leverage to do it at a higher and higher and higher rate, right? Just for an example, my company, RSC, I'm going to show you the number that represents how much content or how much outbound messaging that we've sent, right? I'm going to do it right in this box right here, and it's going to be flat 0. Myself, nor Dylan, nor anybody that works with us has ever sent a cold DM or any outbound messages to acquire a customer. All we've done is post to these social media profile pages, and through indirectly, right, indirectly using leveraged media to provide value to every single person that decides to watch this boring video, I have now given you a reason to believe that I can be the Grant Cardone and I can give you I can solve your problem because I am the person that has the indirect solution, right? And that is the mindset that you can adopt. But in terms of actually using it practically, we're going to go all the way back. We're going to get rid of all the indirect solution stuff. We do not need this here. I'm going to show you how without a profile, so let's say we have a sucky profile, you can still find their real problem. And the first phase of that is going to be something called MMM, or Market Message Resonation. I'm tripping up here. MMR, right? So Market Message Resonation, not monthly recurring revenue or whatever. I'm just playing around my words here. Anyways, point is that market message origination is the amount of value that our words has, the amount of impact our words has based on the understanding of a prospect. Right? If you were to talk to a very close friend of yours, let's say a very close friend has been addicted to social media and you want to have a talk with him about why he should quit social media, right? You have a lot of resonation with him because you understand aspects of his life that the ordinary person wouldn't, right? And what we want to do is we want to characterize our prospect into a IA, which is an ideal avatar, also known as like an ICP and other stuff. Essentially the perfect person we want to work with. When we can break somebody down into the perfect person we want to work with, we can have market message resonation because we understand the pain, right, the gaping hole in the stomach, and we can put it into an equation plus minus equal X, right? And then through doing that, we can speak to it, right? So if we've identified in, let's say, gym owners, we're going to switch off realtors here for a second. If we identified in gym owners that their biggest pain point is the fact they might not be able to make payroll, the way that we can actually leverage and provide them value is going to be through speaking to that need. Because a lot of people go, hey, I'll get you 30 new leads so you can add 10K a month to your gym. These people don't really care about adding 10K a month to their gym. They're glorified personal trainers who went a little bit overboard, decided to start a gym, and now they're struggling to make payroll, right? So hearing that message and feeling understood gives you a perceived likelihood that you can go ahead and solve this problem, and you get this green spear in behind them and beat out all these buffoons who are poking in the smoke, right? That's what we're going to call it. You guys are poking in the smoke and you're going to be poking in the problem, right? And we do that through understanding what their pains are, right? So an example of how we can actually categorize this person is learning, right? And the only way to do this is through learning and experience. Right? We don't know what a person's problem is unless we speak with a multitude of persons of similar qualities and identify like, hey, what are the things that these people oftentimes struggle with? I'll give you another example, right? So we know gym owners, they want to make payroll. But let's say realtors, for example. A lot of realtors are people that decided they didn't want to go to college but aren't quite ballsy enough to take out loans to do an entrepreneurial project, so they're in the middle transitioning phase and they're trying to make enough money oftentimes to start up their own ventures. So when you understand that and you understand that room for growth and a lot of things that they want to do, you can have resonation when you speak to these people. And you only learn these things through being able to identify and track metrics on who people are, right? So what I would do right now is I would break down the criteria that you need to learn about somebody to actually properly understand them. I'll do it live for you right now. If I were to head over to this right here, the key points you need to understand about somebody, right? So it's their why, right? Like, why are they in business, to do what, and then the how, right? If you can get the why, what, and how, that is all the criteria that you're going to need in order to find that actual real pain of the prospect that you're going after, right? So their why is because they want to be an entrepreneur, right? They want to be Bill Gates. Let's say, for example, they want to go into technology, want to start a venture of some sorts. What? They need to do that through getting more listings / like buyer seller leads, whatever it might be. How? Well, through any mechanism that works, right? So that could be cold calls / inbound leads, right? And that is our criteria. Now looking at that, we can use deductive reasoning to determine like, hey, okay, if this is their why and this is the what, we can market message resonate by putting this into a confined sentence, right? You can become Bill Gates, you can start your venture that you've always really wanted to start, get all the listings that you need in order to make money to do that through, doing these cold calls, if you're selling cold call, for example, or selling these inbound leads through Facebook ads, if that's what you're doing it, for example, the local lead gen, right? And that would be the mindset by which we follow in order to actually speak to this pain. When we do that, we completely alleviate this size of the problem plus upfront value provided equals the interest in service and gives the likelihood of appointments. So I made this video because I noticed a lot of people, actually majority of people, including myself, are the smoke pokers, right? Do not be a smoke poker. If you want to get inbound leads and double your appointments, you will either have to have the market message resonation to speak to their real problem, or you can be the Grant Cardone approach and provide indirect solutions to people's problems. I've personally gone the Grant Cardone route, but I've also gone in my life, as you can see, and I show you over there, I've also gone the other route of actually going ahead and poking behind and understanding their real pain. So what I want to do is provide you that value, and if you can apply this, I guarantee you're going to double your appointment booking rate, and I hope this was of value to you. See you guys in the next one.